thought, so it's quite good. Moving on. So thanks to our keynote speaker, she's already highlighted how important volunteering is and where and how it affects. These are some of news clips from Nepal. So as you all know, volunteering in the crisis was very hard, but it was very sweet. But also, the COVID itself was very, very difficult. And it was very difficult for Nepal as well. There are many issues and cases that came up in Nepal during volunteering, starting from poor planning, to resource gap, to social disintegration. Now, let me tell you one important story that goes far more back than COVID. So in 2015, there was a big earthquake in Nepal, and it took away lives of many and also houses of many. That means lives were gone. Their livelihoods were gone, and sadly, we did not learn from that. So the same thing happened with COVID. We were not prepared, we didn't have any resources saved, and nor did volunteers. And nor did how volunteers would work or how volunteers would work. So everything was fragmented. We didn't have any communication channels, we did not have any resources to do whatever was needed, and we were all left. This is a report that one of the civil society organizations shared as a report after the COVID. So you see how fragmented it was. You see how many pieces there were. The projects that had planned, the volunteering that was supposed to happen, the projects for health and development, everything was stopped. Not only that, for everything that was going to happen, did not happen. For everything that was already in progress or in process, was also halted. And sadly, many of these, for which investments and projects and works have already begun, were all in halt. Another is a very interesting photo gallery that I showed you. So the first picture you see is a volunteer from RNA, Rescue and Awareness, which is in Bhaktapur in Nepal, the city of temples, as we say. So the very interesting story behind this picture lies back in May in 2020. So the first case of death of COVID that happened in Nepal. So a new mother who had just born a baby about nine days back was found dead due to COVID, and nobody wanted to touch her, nobody wanted to hold her finger to see, and it was very, very sad. Nor did the government respond, nor did the hospital authorities do anything, because sadly, there was no response team. There was nothing at all. It was then that the hospital authorities and the army around there remembered that there is this volunteering organization in Bhaktapur, in Nepal, that helped very, very much during the earthquake period. And they called them. And as soon as they received that call, they just jumped into action. So it was this volunteer from RNA in Nepal who was the first one to help during the Nepal when the government and all other participants were actually not there. So you see, in Nepal, there were many things that happened during COVID, but because of which there was volunteering highlighted. And as our keynote speaker has already stated the importance of how the volunteering was not really that lost, but not really that known. It was all there and present during that particular period. One interesting fact about Nepal during the COVID is also that during this period, they recognized that volunteering doesn't only mean physical assistance, or education, or health, but also there's an emotional connection, or an emotional need that was attached. And that was how it was spread to. The second picture from this gallery is what it shows. There were volunteers from a digital group, a Facebook group, that came together to spread awareness and also to sympathize with everyone. For those who were stranded, for those who were living away but now isolated, they were a means of hope, a glimmer of connection, a network, a social relationship that they created through an online platform. We see people helping each other, by giving away food, by giving away certain necessities or needs. There were also people who gathered together just for this particular instance, as our speaker already stated, say your neighbors, or people from the community or relatives who came together as volunteers to help those who were in need. Also, one fun fact was that we didn't also forget the animals that were around us. If you have ever visited Nepal, you can see that in many of these different beautiful and prosperous temples, there are animals that live there. The animals who, in a way, make better the view that's around you. The pigeons that fly around in temples, or the monkeys that steal away your bananas, they're all also a part of the society and the community. And there were volunteers who came forward to help those in need as well. So we still have much to do in volunteering, I would say, for Nepal, because there are still so many folks who can go to. And we had a lot of hope and support from many of CSOs, civil society organizations as well. As you can see through the picture, there were a lot of struggles as well. Because of the fragmentation and the lack of policy building, the preparedness and plans, we had a lot of struggles. So there's a lot of scope to go everywhere. As you had seen in the previous picture, there was a woman, a volunteer, carrying an elderly woman to a vaccination center. Sadly, that's a situation till date in Nepal. Now these are because of infrastructures that are still missing and also awareness that is lacking. So volunteering is a new normal. So what it is really that we need, and what it is really that we need to focus in volunteering. First of all, I would say there's a really need of cooperative partnership networks between the government, the people, the volunteers, and also the civil society organizations. Volunteering in Nepal does not really happen on its own. They are regulated through agencies and through CSO networks. So these are registered, legalized organizations who work together with all the partners. Now, if volunteering has to work, there needs to be a certain policy and a procedure where all of them come together and work as one. Next is health and safety, not only for the people, but also for volunteers, to safeguard them and to have a policy in place and a secure environment for them to work as well. Another is communication and digitalization. Now, unlike many of volunteering cultures, sadly Nepal still works in a traditional phase. So there are mobiles, telephones and stuff still available, but for Nepal, most of this in the local network still happens with peer-to-peer communication. So people really go there, volunteers really go door to door, knock on their doors and talk about it. Spread awareness and also help each other. So you cannot really expect change to happen right away. For change to happen, it has to have a process, a defined step-by-step way how you can change. And this change can only happen when we recognize these networks and try to build them more. Another is inclusivity and regional parity. There's a great divide between urban and rural areas and regions in Nepal. So the more focus is always, as it has been, on the more urban. However, we still need to focus on the rural regions as well, and so goes for volunteering. Now, as already forwarded, it is during the COVID that we really realized that volunteering is when people from away came into our countries and helped. So it was same for Nepal as well. It was then in COVID that we realized most of the volunteers were from urban regions, and in the rural regions, there weren't many actually to go through and help them all. As I've already mentioned in the slide before, infrastructure investments. So volunteering is sometimes also going there, traveling to those countries and those areas to help. Sadly, in Nepal, that's still lacking. And that is also where we need to develop for us to push the volunteering even more. And the final and the most important is environment and sustainability. Now, many of my relatives, my neighbors, my friends did share a hand in the volunteering during COVID. However, it stopped as it is there, so it did not really continue. For us, in reality, to say volunteering is there in a bond or that we are really volunteering, we also need to work on the sustaining. We also need to work on the reporting. Let's say, where do we really need each other? Where do we really need volunteering? Why do we need volunteering? Why are we doing this? That is the one of the most important things that's still lacking. Finally, I would like to leave a short note, which is important, and finish my presentation. For Nepal, at least, it is the volunteering and the contribution of civil society organizations that is building the economy. So in order to keep on building and keep on developing, we need to continue volunteerism and we need to continue our efforts to improving the volunteering community. I'd like to end my presentation now. Thank you.
네, 어떠셨어요? 네팔이라는 국가를 아주 짧게 제가 경험했지만 사원이 너무 이쁘고서 꼭 가겠습니다. 제가 2009년도부터 대구 자원봉사가 해외 자원봉사를 아마 전국에서는 최초로 만들었어요. 그래서 우수 자원봉사자들과 함께 매년 해외 봉사를 다니다가 지금 코로나 때문에 잠시 중단됐죠. 그래서 대구가 이제 해외 봉사를 한번 만들고 타 지역에 이제 그런 인적 보상제도가 생겼는데 꼭 빨리 이어갔으면 좋겠습니다. 앞에 말씀을 듣다 보니까 제가 궁금한 게 잠깐 생겼어요. 여기 앞줄에 계신 분들도 해당 사항이 있습니다. 여기 계신 분들 중에서 우수 자원봉사자증이 있다. 이렇게 손 한번 들어봐 주세요. 여러분 뒤로 한번 보셔도 돼요. 네, 이게 대구 자원봉사니까. 우수 자원봉사자증은 몇 시간이 돼야 받으시죠? 1년에 50시간. 세 분이 모르실까? 1년에 50시간을 매번 한 사람만 매년 갱신이에요. 네, 우리 대구가 이런 도시입니다. 네, 그 다음에 여기 계신 분 중에 혹시 1000시간 나 잠수 넘어서 하시는 분 있으세요? 네, 혹시 30대 뒤로 보셔도 돼요? 네, 뒤로 보셔도 돼요. 대구에 한 30%. 그럼 제가 여기서 10,000시간 계실까요? 10,000시간 자원봉사, 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 한 10분 나오죠. 이분에게 박수 한번 해주세요. 제가 지속 가능한 자원봉사라는 단어를 처음 들은 거는 여수 엑스포 때 들었어요. 많은 자원봉사가 이벤트로 끝나는 이벤트, 행사 단어 쓰시죠. 그 느낌이 자원봉사 관리자인 저에게도 썩 좋지는 않았어요. 우리는 사회를 위해서 기여하고 이렇게 자원봉사라는 걸 실천하는데 왜 남들은 자원봉사 행사라고 부를까? 우리가 한 번 한 번의 일회성적인 활동을 여러분들의 노력을 투자하신 게 아니잖아요. 그래서 지금 보시니까 그 많은 대구의 가치를 이렇게 실천하신 분만 이 자리에 모여서 제가 감사하다는 말씀을 드리고 이제 마지막 저희 사례 발표하실 분을 소개해드리겠습니다. 아까 제가 성함이 아이유가 아니고 조금 더 예쁜 인도네시아의 아이유님 소개해드려도 될까요? 네, 무대로 모실게요. 박수 한번 부탁드립니다.